next hand we go. Our local Matt folding. And now McLean also goes away.
Over to Dan O'Brien. Looks at a nice hand on the button. He's got ace queen. He's going to raise it to 55,000.
Hassan out. And Andy with a 9-8 of clubs.
Yep, got the suited connectors that we all like to see flops with. So he does make the call. And here comes the flop. Flop ace king 10. Nice flop for Dan there as he's flopped top pair in a straight draw. Andy flopped nothing and checks, and Dan checks right behind him. 7 of diamonds comes off. Now this does give Andy an open end straight draw. Of course, a jack wouldn't help him.
Well, he checks again.
But again, it goes check, check. Now a queen comes off. So Dan O'Brien has 2 pair now. Action is on Andy. Again, he's going to check. So essentially just waving the flag here.
Yeah, nothing hitting. And Dan with aces and queens going to stick out a little bet.
Well, finally going to make a bet with this hand. 72,000. And obviously Andy has absolutely nothing. But that doesn't mean he's giving up. It looks like he's getting raising chips out. And indeed, he is re-raising here to 150,000, trying to represent the fact that he's got a jack in his hand and he's made an ace high straight.
And you know what? Even though it's not that much more, it's kind of a tricky call to make. You think the guy just trapped you in there.
I almost checked it back, kid.
He thinks he's beat.
I know you're a little crazy sometimes.
Dan does have aces and queens, but still, when you're sitting there, the guy didn't bet on the flop, didn't bet on the turn, now check raise you on the river. You just think he's got a jack. You think, how can this guy raise without a jack in his hand?
Well, this would be the cutest raise of the night if he should be successful.
And I think it's a tough call for Dan to make here. Virtually all he can beat is a steal.
But the former day trader is going to man up. He makes the call, and it's a good one.
And indeed, it was a steal. Andy Seth trying to win that pot, and it would have worked against a lot of players. Didn't work against Dan O'Brien.
So the momentum keeps shifting for Andy Seth, who was in a commanding lead before, but now he's getting whittled away. He's down to 758,000.
Well, the current leader is McLean Carr with 2.4 million. In second place, Dan O'Brien right on his heels with about 2.2 million. Andy Seth has dropped to 4th place.
All right, to the money pit. Hassan out. Andy looking depleted right now. Picks up a pair of 9s, though.
And he's got the 2 9s. He's going to raise it to 56,000.
Into the local from Bay 101, Matt, 42 years old, and he's got a interesting ace-7. He's on the short stack.
Well, he's a local pro. He was at the Bay 101 the day they opened this club, in fact. And Vince, because Andy's been so aggressive all night long, you just think the guy might be raising with nothing again, so you move all in with ace high.
Going to make a stand. McLean out. Dan O'Brien, though, with a king-queen.
Well, it's been raised and re-raised to him.
Call.
So he's going to lay it down, and quickly called by Andy Seth here. And Andy, a nice favorite to win this pot and eliminate Matt from this tournament. There you see Matt's buddy, WPT champion, watching him here tonight.
And here comes the flop. It's 8-6-4.
Maybe a little more, you know, 5 ball.
Got an inside straight for Matt. But so far, so good for Andy, as his 9s are out in front. Here comes the turn.
Well, 10 of clubs comes off. Now that does give Matt a 2-way straight draw. A 9 will give him a straight as well as a 5, but a club won't do him any good now. So the ace of clubs or 5 of clubs won't help him, as Andy will have a bigger flush than him. Ace of clubs does come off on the river. Even though Matt has made a club flush, it's not good enough, as Andy has a higher flush. So that's going to do it for the local pro.
Good game, man. Yeah, good job.
Matt Cakewan out in 5th place.
Good game, Matt.
Big effort.
Good fight, man.
Going to take home 175,000. He was a gentleman. And right now we are down to 4 at the Bay 101 Shooting Star. Stay with us. We're coming back with more action on the WPT. Welcome back to the Bay 101 Shooting Star. I'm Vince Van Patten alongside Mike Sexton. 4 players remain.
Yep, and the top 3 players are all in their 20s. Youth prevailing once again on the World Poker Tour. Current chip leader is McLean Carr with 2.3 million. Dan O'Brien in 2nd place with 2 million. Andy Seth in 3rd place, 1.5 million. An old school guy, Hassan Habib, in 4th place right now.
Okay, Andy's going up to 5,000 blinds, 15 and 30. A quick fold by the 23-year-old Andy. And McLean Carr also going out.
So it's a battle of the blinds here. Dan O'Brien looks down at ace-10 offsuit. Pretty good hand in the small blind.
Just throw it away.
Yep, he's out of Mount Sinai, New York. That's Long Island. Now living in Vegas.
Hassan trying to coax him to throw it away so he can get another walk. That didn't happen.
Call.
But Hassan is going to make the call with the king-8 offsuit.
Up against ace-10. We're flopping.
Now flop is jack 6-6. No help to either player. Dan out in front with the ace high. He also has the ace of spade. And he's going to bet 105,000 here. And without hesitation,
300.
Hassan coming over the top right here, making it 300,000 to go.
Very crafty. Hassan finally taking a shot here. Now he's had the perception of playing very tight tonight. So when a guy like this does this to you, it's scary.
Very difficult to continue here with just an ace high. All you can beat is a steal. That's exactly the case, though, as Hassan only has the king high.
Hassan has said he's taking some time off. He's into real estate investing. He got married. He's happier. And right now he's got to be happy with this one because he bluffed it.
Show the bluff.
Well,
Show the bluff.
well, Dan says show the bluff, but Hassan does not do it. Says you got to pay to see my cards, my friend. But what a nice play by Hassan Habib. There you see, he's got well over $2 million in WPT earnings, mostly by virtue of his 2 final table finishes at the WPT World Championship, where he finished 2nd and 3rd in back-to-back years. Very impressive.
All right, back down to it. Dan O'Brien with a suited connector, 4-5 of clubs, going to raise. Makes it 75,000 to go. Hassan and Andy both out.
Well, McLean going to call with the queen jack out of the big blind. So here comes the flop. Which come king 3 deuce, all clubs. Dan has flopped a flush and a straight flush draw. McLean has a larger flush draw.
Yeah, McLean checks.
Of course, recognize if the ace or 6 of clubs comes off, that won't help McLean any, because it'll give his opponent a straight flush.
Well, Dan's bet 70,000, and McLean is not going anywhere. He wants to see another club. 6 of spades on the turn. And now it's McLean who's getting chips out in first position with nothing.
He is betting Vince 165,000. And he's just been called by Dan O'Brien here. Dan does not raise it. He just calls him with his flush. The board pairs 3s on the river.
And now McLean slowing down. He checks it because nothing hit for him.
Well, Vince, once he gets called on the turn, he figures he's going to get called on the river, so why burn up any more chips?
And here goes Dan. It looks about 320,000 into the pot.
That's Andrew.
McLean's had enough. He waves the flag. Dan O'Brien takes down yet another nice pot.
The former day trader out of New York, now Poker Pro, takes a good pot. We're coming back with more action here on the World Poker Tour.
The name of the tournament is the Bay 101 Shooting Star. We have 333 players this year. First place is just a little bit under 900,000. At the Bay 101, we put the final table stage right smack dab in the middle of our poker room. If you come down and you're one of those lucky few to get a seat inside the final table viewing area, you're going to be in for a great experience. It's the loudest fans, it's the most excitement. It's very enjoyable.
Welcome back to the World Poker Tour. That's Matt Savage bragging about the Bay 101, but there's a lot to brag about.
Well, he's right, Vince. This is the loudest and most excitable crowd that we have on the World Poker Tour all season long. They love their poker up here in San Jose.
And we are down to four-handed poker. The winner's going to take home close to 900,000 tonight. Who will it be? Action goes to Hassan Habib.
And he's got the queen 9 of spade here. Looks like he's getting out some raisin chips, coming in for 90,000.
Into the 23-year-old Andy Seth. Only been playing poker for 4 years, and he picks up aces just like that.
Unbelievable. Just what you dream about. The guy in front of you raises. You look down and find 2 aces. But the youngster does not re-raise here, Vince. He just calls.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I'll tell you why I don't like this play, Vince, because it entices the blinds to call. Now you got to beat multiple players in a pot. And I say it entices them to call because there's so much money in the pot, and they've got some invested.
Well, McLean has folded, and Dan O'Brien with Queen Jack of Diamonds is going to stick around.
Well, generally speaking, when you have a big pair, you want to limit your opponents to one. You don't want to play against multiple people because somebody's going to beat you and you're going to go for all your dough.
Well, the flop comes up 10-8-4.
So both Dan and Hassan flopped gut shot straight draws. Andy with the best hand with 2 aces.
160?
After check of Dan.
Can I make 160?
Hassan coming out to bet.
And he's got the gut shot straight draw. A jack would give him a straight. So he makes a continuation bet.
Andy coming over the top, makes it 375,000 to go. Dan goes away.
And he recognizes that's a pretty scary flop for 2 aces. So he's just going to come right over the top right now and end the party right here. 375,000 to bet. Hassan quickly folds.
Now, he was the early chip leader, Andy Seth. He's from Urbana, Illinois. Went to college at the University of Illinois. Second WPT cash, first final table.
You got to love these Big Ten guys, Vince.
And he's a talented young pro.
You know, they have a lot of winter months up there, so you do stay inside and play poker in the Big Ten. It's what they do.
Next hand,
He had
a
all
quick
the chips,
fold by
right?
the 23-year-old Andy.
He had a good set. He had a
McLean
healthy
has
set.
raised with just a 4 deuce. Dan out.
How much is that? 75? Okay, let's go.
You know, Hassan says, okay, I'll make a call. I'll play with you.
With King 10 of clubs.
I check in the dark.
Well, Hassan says, I check in the dark. Here comes a flop. Jack, deuce, deuce
Whoa.
with 2 clubs. Folks, buckle up. We're going to see some fireworks here.
McLean with 3 of a kind. Hassan with a 4 flush.
Well, here comes the pre-flop raiser. He's going to bet 115,000.
300.
Hassan quickly check raises with the flush draw. You're never going to put your opponent on a deuce when he raised before the flop.
And timing is everything. And Hassan has made it 300,000 to go.
Do it.
Well, Hassan says do it, but not sure he really wants him to do that.
I'm all in.
You all in?
Careful what you beg for because it's going to backfire.
Hassan now shaking his head no. Said, why not tell him to call me? Pros don't like to get all their money in on a draw, as we say. And right now, Hassan has got to do that with a flush draw.
All right, I gotta call you, man. I hope you don't have a flush draw.
He's got to gamble with him. He makes the call.
Oh, wow. That's unbelievable. Crazy.
Hassan a little bit shocked as his opponent turns up 3 deuces. You just don't expect a guy to have 3 deuces when he raised pre-flop. So Hassan Habib, the veteran at the table, needs a club to stay alive without the board pairing.
Yep. He is begging for a club. Can Hassan get it here?
Oh, Jack comes off. McLean has made a full house. But Jack comes in, split the pot, but no, 4 clubs on the end, even though Hassan made a flush. Not good enough. McLean Carr takes down the pot. Hassan Habib out in 4th place.
Hassan Habib going to pick up 234,000 for the effort. And the celebrating has begun for the player that got into a $1,200 Sunlight McLean Carr.
I mean, he had a deuce. I mean, how do I know he's gonna have a deuce? But I still had a shot, you know?
Thanks, guys. Thanks, guys. Love you all.
It was a lot of fun being back. It was great, yeah.
3 players remain at the Bay 101. We're coming back for more on the World Poker Tour. We are back here on the World Poker Tour as the Bay 101 Shooting Star continues.
And our current chip leader is McLean Carr, graduate of the United States Air Force Academy. You got to admire a guy that goes to the academy, that's for sure. They commit 4 years of their life to our armed forces. He served in the Air Force, now is a poker pro. Here he picks up ace king, is going to raise it, makes it 75,000 to go.
Behind him, Dan O'Brien, the former day trader, calls with the queen jack of hearts as Andy Seth goes away. Here's the flop.
Flop king 3-3. That's a great flop for McLean. He's going to lead out and bet here. It's like 115,000. And amazingly, Dan is going to make the call. Now, if you didn't have ace king there, you'd be very afraid of someone making a call with that flop. Now the deuce of hearts comes off. So now Dan has made a flush draw, but still is up against the top pair and top kicker. Well, again, McLean betting. This time 265,000. And again, Dan calls, but now he has a flush draw.
Can he be so lucky and hit a heart right here for the flush? No, not to be. Well,
4 clubs comes off.